Hey and welcome to the Formula Vee guide on Tsukuba and iRacing. This combination looks easy, but it's tricky. The good news is that you won't need to shift a lot and can focus fully on your line. The bad news, however, is that the bankings of the track can make it incredibly difficult to keep the car under control. I would not recommend you to join a race until you feel confident with the limits of the car, otherwise you will have a really tough time. You can find the lap files on the community Discord, which is linked in the description down below. I'm also launching my coaching service this week, so if you see this video in a few days, the link will be in the description as well. Approach the first turn from the left edge of the track. You can use the crest as marker and brake once you reach the small plateau the turn is on. Alternatively, you can also have an eye on the left wall and use the green border for orientation. This downshift is really tricky. If you brake and downshift while you are turning, you will lose the rear and spin. You can delay the downshift and wait until the car is slower, that's totally fine and works, but you always risk a bad exit because you are delaying the downshift really close to the point at which you want to accelerate again. So what you see me doing here is the solution which allows me to get the best out of all worlds. The car is stable, I can downshift early to make some use of the engine for braking, and I get a clean run through the turn. The secret is, you can see it on the bottom left, I keep the wheels straight for the moment of the downshift. That way the car stays stable, and once you are done with shifting, you can focus on the turn again and aim for a smooth run. Try to be early on the throttle to get a good run onto the next straight and avoid the curb. Attacking it can unsettle the car and make you spin. The line which marks the switch between two different track surfaces is your next brake marker. The turn is banked and you want to avoid the banking to keep the car stable. I want you to watch my car and see how late I turn in. I basically drive around the banking and aim for a late apex. A late apex means that we want to get close to the curb when we are exiting the turn. Since there's another straight coming up, it's important that you are aggressive on the throttle and accelerate as early as possible. Swing to the left edge of the track. You want to touch the white line with your wheels. Lift while you turn in and aim for a tight run around the curb. Open wheelers usually hate curbs, the same applies for the V. Accelerate along the curb and try not to touch it. The brake marker for the last turn is the kink in the track ahead of us. Hit the brakes and stick to the left side of the track. You want to drive around the banking of the turn like in the last turn and aim for a late apex. Attack the throttle as early as possible to carry your momentum onto the last straight. Stick to the left edge. I'm using the barriers on the left as marker to turn in. The last turn is all about a smooth line. You want to be smooth on the wheel and smooth with your inputs. Stay on a smooth line, stick to the inside and downshift into third gear to keep the engine in high RPMs, which gives you more power on the exit. Accelerate along the inside towards the finish line and avoid the inside curb to keep the car stable. That was the guide lap. The cockpit lap is coming up next. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the guide. I wish you all the best for the next races and see you next time.